Hello my lovely beautiful people, welcome to the Creative Lab. Today's video is going to be about how to create one of the most used UI trends in 2022, neomorphism. I'm creating content for two videos. It is important to watch both because the first video I'm creating an app using neomorphism elements, and on the second one I will teach you with more depth how to use these elements of neomorphism. So why not skip to the second part, right? Because I recommend to already have created the app to then put these elements, these buttons of neomorphism into the app. And then you can play with it and create the buttons as you wish with the knowledge gained. The more knowledge that you gain, the easier it is to be inspired and create more things. Therefore, I encourage you to watch both to gain more knowledge and be more inspired and create something amazing. So you can copy from start to end, or you can copy most of it and then change a couple of things and be creative and play with it. It's up to you, whatever floats your boat. Neomorphic design is a modern variation of the classic skeuomorphic design. We're creating this music app with neomorphism elements. I'm creating a frame of 1400 by 1000, and then I'm creating a rectangle of the same size and placing it on it. I'm choosing blue for the background. For the screen iPhone 11 Pro, I'm selecting Option on the keyboard and drag it where desired in order to copy the same frame. The edges of the screen are 30. For the button, I'm creating a circle of 50 by 50. I'm using the same color for the background. Now I'm just checking it is on the right place. 30 by 30 is the space that I'm leaving between them. To give this neomorphic design, I'm going to the effects section. I'm choosing drop shadow of X and Y8, and then we want to double it, so it's blur at 16. Level of transparency will be 25% black. I'm using another drop shadow for the button. X and Y, it's -1 and blur 4. For the color white on 100% of intensity. Pressing Option on the keyboard and drag the button so I don't have to redo it again. For the arrow, I'm using the arrow that Figma already offers instead of the icon because I didn't quite find any icon that I quite liked. I will explain how to find these icons soon. I'm placing the arrow on the middle to know whether it is in the middle or not. I am checking the pixel. For that, I'm pressing Option while I'm moving the mouse. For the next one, I'm going to select an icon that I found on the community section on Figma. Here I already have the plugin downloaded. I'm going to the menu with the Figma logo and I'm going to the plugin, and it is called And Icons. This is the one that I'm using. I'm just going to search for the icon that I want, and I'm using the same color as the one that I choose for the left side, light gray. Another way to write a text without going to the top T icon is typing the letter T on the keyboard and start writing the message. I personally found it faster this way. I'm using the same color as the icons so it looks consistent and the text in bold. I'm creating a square of 210 by 210, and I'm cutting off the edges to 30, and I'm placing it in the middle, and I'm using the same color as the one on the background. Here I'm just testing how do I prefer the drop shadow. I'm going to use selecting a safe photo shadow and the other one inner shadow. For the inner shadow and drop shadow, I'm entering X and Y 4 and blur 4, 20% of level of transparency and black. I'm checking the pixels, the spacing. Selecting a safe photo from my device. I'm placing it on the rectangle. I'm creating another square slightly larger to give it an effect like the photo is inside the square. We're using the same color as one that we're using for the background. Then drop shadow Y4 and blur 4. And then a inner shadow X and Y4 and blur 4, and drop shadow X and Y4 and blur 4. Now we want to bring the image in front. For that, we're going to right click of the mouse. You'll see display of options that you can use, and then just click on bring it to front. Add more shadow. So I'm going to effects, drop shadow, 81% of transparency black, X0, Y4, and blur 12. The name of the song, we're going to use a larger size for the letter, and then the name of the artist in a smaller size. The name of the song, I'm using 20 on bold, and for the name of the artist, regular on size 15. I think white looks pretty good with the dark gray background, so it stands out better. Now I'm checking the space between the pixels. I'm placing it how I want it. I want it in the center, and between the name of the song and the artist, I just want 5 pixels between them. I'm checking the pixels. I'm creating a rectangle of 314 by 10. Placing it in the center, so there's the same amount of pixels on the left and the same amount of pixels on the right. And then I'm cutting off the edges to 9. And I'm going to copy it pressing Option. And then I'm reducing the size of the second bar. Perfect. Okay, here I'm going to use linear color of blue, and I'm playing with dark blue and a lighter blue. But you can choose any color that you wish for. And I'm placing it on top of the first bar created. I'm creating a circle, right, and I'm placing it in between the first and second bar. I have a slightly larger, so 12 by 12, my bad. And then I'm adding a dot in the middle. I'm going to use blue as well and in bold. I'm selecting these elements with the mouse, and then I'm pressing meanwhile the shift button, and then to create a group I'm pressing Command plus G, and then you'll see the name group at the left side, and a number if there's more than one, and then you can just tap on it and write the name that you want to processing bar. Okay, here I've just realized I want the dot larger because I think it looks a little bit small. So I'm going to change the size to 30 and place it in the center of the button. Perfect. Okay, I'm happy with it. Okay, checking the spacing. Right, now I'm creating a circle of 50 by 50 using the same color for the background, and then we're going to use an effect, drop shadow blue on 100, X and Y -1, and blur 4. Okay, and now I'm adding another drop shadow of 6 and 6, Y, and blur 12 in black 25%. Okay, so I'm going to copy, press an option. For the icons, I'm going to search for the icon, back and forward. I'm using gray color for them and the same gray for both of the buttons, so it looks consistent. Okay, now I'm creating a group, so selecting these with Shift plus Command plus G, and I'm writing the name of the button. So here, back, and for the other one, further. Great. Okay, creating a circle for the button in the middle, which is going to be the pause, play and pause button, and I want it 95 by 95. I'm going to use the same color for the background. And I am going to use drop shadow of X0, Y4, blur 4, blue on 100%, inner shadow, X and Y at 0 and blur 4%. And then transparency, I'm leaving it at 25% black. I'm not following the one from the example because I would like to improve it. Therefore, I would like to give the play and pause button the impression that is pressed. So it looks like the button is inside pressed. I added another effect to it, so I'm adding drop shadow of X and Y -2, 15 of blur, adding drop shadow of X and Y -2, 15 of blur, and blue at 100% of intensity. For the icon in the middle, I'm just going to write two eyes and change it to color blue and place it on the middle. It's on the middle or not. Perfect. There are two ways of creating a group. The one that I mentioned before, using Shift, or you can select the left click of the mouse button and drag the elements that you want to select. Select these and then Command plus G. Now I'm just writing the name of the group, right pause. I'm checking the pixels to see whether it's on the middle or not. I'm moving the buttons further up. Great. Okay, so now I'm just going to Alright, we're almost finished. I'm happy that you got this far. Just a tiny detail. I'm going to write the song length at regular size 10. Ta-da! We're done. Thanks for following this tutorial. I would love to see your designs. For that, share your work with me on Instagram at hashtag the low bar creative design lab to your post. Just a tiny note, if you're watching this video right now, the second part may not be released. Stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching. I'm pleased to share my knowledge with you. If you feel like you've learned something new, and you would like to be notified on any new video that I release, click the subscribe button right here. Thanks again, and I hope to see you on the next one.